You know, for billions of years, two absolute cosmic giants have been hurtling toward each other. One is our home, the Milky Way. The other? That's our biggest galactic neighbor, Andromeda. And yeah, they are on a collision course. So, what does that even mean, a galactic collision? What's really going to happen when these two titans finally meet? And what would it look like from our front row seat? Let's get into it.
Just take a look at this. I mean, this is the raw, majestic power of the universe on full display. We're seeing two galaxies, each with billions upon billions of stars, starting to merge. You can see their beautiful spiral arms are getting pulled and twisted all out of shape by gravity. It's a process that takes hundreds of millions of years, and we're seeing it frozen in this one just breathtaking snapshot. And believe it or not, this is basically a preview of our own galaxy's very distant future.
So when you hear collision on this scale, your mind probably goes to one place: total chaos, right? A cosmic demolition derby with stars and planets just smashing into each other. But is that really what happens?
Well, to answer that, we have to properly introduce the two main players in this incredible cosmic story. Okay, so in one corner, you've got us, the Milky Way, with a respectable 300 billion or so stars. And in the other corner, you have the Andromeda galaxy, which is an absolute behemoth with roughly 1 trillion stars. And it's not just floating by, oh no. It is rocketing towards us at an insane 110 kilometers per second. To put that in perspective, that's fast enough to get from New York to Los Angeles in about 40 seconds.
And moving at that incredible speed, the main event, the first real pass of this galactic merger, is set to kick off in about 4.5 billion years. Now, that sounds like forever, I know, but on the cosmic calendar, it's basically the very next appointment.
So you have literally trillions of stars seemingly about to occupy the same patch of space. This brings us right back to our big question. Is this going to be a colossal smash-up? And the answer, which is kind of mind-blowing, is no, not at all.
As Dr. Christopher S. Baird puts it so perfectly here, the stars just don't crash into each other. No planets get smashed, no moons are destroyed in some fiery direct hit. And this, right here, this reveals a fundamental truth about the universe. What we call a galactic collision is something else entirely.
The whole secret is right there in the name: space. While galaxies look like these dense, glittering clouds of stars in all the pretty pictures, they are, in reality, mostly defined by an almost impossible amount of emptiness. The distances between the individual stars are just so vast that the chances of any two of them actually hitting each other are practically zero.
Okay, this analogy really helps make that emptiness feel real. So picture our sun as a single ping-pong ball. Got it? On that scale, its closest neighbor, the star Proxima Centauri, would be a tiny pea over 1,000 kilometers or almost 700 miles away. That's like having one ping-pong ball in New York City and the next closest one is all the way in Chicago. Now imagine two whole galaxies full of these ping-pong balls passing right through each other. It's pretty clear none of them are likely to touch.
Okay, so if the stars aren't actually colliding, then what in the world is happening in those spectacular images of merging galaxies? See, it's not a story about impact. It's a story about the most powerful force in the entire cosmos. This whole event isn't a physical crash. It's a massive, galaxy-shaping interaction of gravity. Each galaxy has this immense gravitational field, and they reach out and just grab a hold of each other, pulling and twisting and reshaping everything inside.
This is exactly why it's so much better to think of this not as a collision, but as this long, intricate dance, choreographed over millions and millions of years by the fundamental force of gravity itself. And you can literally see the results of that dance right here. On the left, you've got your familiar, pristine spiral galaxy. Looks orderly, right? Then on the right, well, that's the aftermath of a merger. That beautiful spiral structure is just gone, totally replaced by this chaotic but honestly, strangely beautiful new shape. And that entire transformation is caused by nothing but gravitational forces. So as the two galaxies sweep past and through each other, their mutual gravity creates these incredibly powerful tidal forces. And these forces are what stretch and fling these long, beautiful streams of stars out into space. They tear apart those elegant spiral arms, and they ultimately start to weave the two separate galaxies into one.
Now, while all the individual stars are sailing harmlessly past each other, there is one place where a collision is absolutely guaranteed, right at the very heart of each galaxy.
See, at the center of both the Milky Way and Andromeda are supermassive black holes. And as the galaxies merge, these two cosmic monsters begin an unstoppable spiral toward each other. First, something called dynamical friction makes them sink toward the new center. Then, they form a binary pair, orbiting each other at just incredible speeds. As they get closer, their gravity acts like a slingshot, flinging nearby stars right out of the galactic core. And then finally, they merge into one, unleashing a storm of gravitational waves that ripple across the entire universe.
And this gives us just a tiny glimpse of that final violent stage. It's easily the most energetic event of the entire merger. A completely chaotic swirl of superheated gas and warped spacetime, as the two most massive objects from each galaxy finally become one.
So, after hundreds of millions of years of this gravitational dance, what's the end result? What's left over? And I guess, more importantly, what happens to us?
But when all the cosmic dust settles, a brand new, even bigger galaxy will be born. And scientists have given it a pretty cool nickname, Milkomeda. It probably won't be a familiar spiral shape anymore, but a huge elliptical galaxy, a brand new home, forged from the union of two old ones.
And what about our own solar system? Where do we end up in all this? Well, the really good news is we almost certainly won't be destroyed. According to the simulations, there's about a 12% chance we could get flung out of the new galaxy completely, just left to drift in intergalactic space. There's a 50% chance we'll end up about 3 times farther from the new galactic center than we are now. But, and this is the key part, even in these wild scenarios, the Sun and our planets are expected to stay together, gravitationally bound, and totally unharmed. Our night sky, though? Oh yeah, that would look spectacularly different.
But just when you think you have the story figured out, here's one last fascinating twist. Back in 2012, data from the Hubble telescope made this whole collision seem like a sure thing. But some more recent models, well, they tell a different story. When you factor in the gravitational pull of other nearby galaxies, some simulations now suggest there's a 50-50 chance that the two might just miss each other, swinging past one another in a close call instead of actually merging.
So which is it going to be? A magnificent cosmic dance that completely reshapes our cosmic neighborhood and gives us a new galactic home, or a dramatic near miss, a close call on a truly cosmic scale? For now, the universe is keeping that secret to itself, and it seems only time, about 4.5 billion years of it, will tell the final story.